Hey guys, just finished watching Iron Fist Season 2, Episode 7, Morning of the Mindstorm. This episode was an interesting episode. I mean, it was a bit of a slower episode. There really is not much going on. I mean, after the big episode in Episode 6 and stuff, we pretty much start off with this picking up right after the episode. And we see Danny's in the hospital and stuff, and because he's in the hospital, we don't really get any much thing going on, not much fighting, just a little bit of stuff going on. And it is interesting to see where things are going with Joyce and where things are going to go with Joyce and Davos, and how things are going to continue on with those two. How she's trying to get the bull from him, and she's dealing with that. And Misty Knight is getting in touch with. With Mika Prada there, the girl that Dabo slept with to get the bull and stuff, and she finds all kinds of stuff that has Colleen Wing's family crest on there. Although she took a picture of the bell with her phone, but she didn't show the pictures to there. So I wonder if she's holding on to those photos for later once they're done with the whole Davos situation, and she's going to give it to them now so they can focus on this storyline. I think that's quite interesting to see where things are going to go with that. They keep teasing bits and pieces about that family crest. We get bits and pieces now with her looking into it. We know that we find out that someone left that keepsake. She was telling what's her face, Misty, that was left there, and it was kind of given to someone to help them get into the country legally to make fake passports or some things like that. And I think that's an interesting idea. I guess it means that her family is kind of out there, and I think it's interesting where that relationship's going to go with Colleen Wing and Danny and Misty Knight. And with her in this episode, at the end of the episode, when she decides to, yes, I'm going to train you, but we're going to have to end our relationship type thing. Although I get where they're going, I get the idea of that. It just didn't really hit as hard as they wanted it to be, because it feels like, yeah, maybe she's going to be like this during the training and she's going to be emotionally distant, but she'll probably get right back to it. Now if they go all out with it, and the end of the episode she's kind of can't handle it, she has to leave Danny and all that stuff, I think that could be an interesting idea to then spin her off and Misty into the Daughters of the Dragon, and having a team up show with just Misty and Colleen Wing. Now I think Colleen Wing would kind of probably want to leave New York City to get away from Danny, if that's how she's going to go. We'll have to wait and see how far she really goes with it. Although it seems kind of cheesy on the face of it, that she can kind of, she's going to like, no, I can't, I have to be emotionally distant to train you and stuff. Seems a bit kind of silly and stuff. But we'll have to wait and see how much they stick to their guns for this. If they do, I think it could be an interesting idea to setting up something like that. Maybe a season of, or their own show type thing of just Colleen Wing and Misty Knight. But I just don't see, Misty would never leave New York City, and yet if she's having a show with just Colleen Wing and not Danny, she would have to really like leave New York City almost. Maybe they could say they went to the other. She goes to the completely other end of New York City, where she wouldn't really deal with him. But still, like, how big of a story can you really do without having him involved at all? And if he's just just across New York City, why would he go see her type thing? So I don't know. It really is going to be interesting to see where things go with that idea. It seems a bit cheesy on the top. We'll see how much they kind of stick to it to see where things kind of continue on from here with this kind of relationship there. And also with Misty, I don't think I really see her leaving New York City whatsoever. So it'd be cool to see where things kind of continue on with this, and how things kind of continue, especially with Danny and this kind of leg thing that he has. I think it's going to be cool to see where things go with that. How is that going to continue on? Is he going to get the Iron Fist and kind of heal himself back up? I think that could be an interesting idea to see where things are going to go with that. But I feel like they're probably going to keep him, his leg broken like this for a few more, at least another couple of episodes. And, it would make sense that maybe he'd be healed, if he gets the Iron Fist by episode 10. Well, maybe not 10, because we only have 10 episodes this season. But I think maybe at episode 9, we'll have to wait and see where things are going to go and how he'll kind of get set up, because we only have 3 more episodes after this. So I think it's really going to be cool to see where things kind of go with that storyline. And again, with Mary Walker, she's always Ellis. Eve is amazing. She's one of the best actresses in this show, probably the best in this season so far. And I'm really liking this season of Iron Fist season 2. I'm liking it a lot more than Luke Cage season 2. I'm liking it more than Jessica Jones season 2. No, I really wasn't too fond of those seasons. They were just kind of okay for me, but they're not like I haven't rewatched them ever since I first watched them. Whereas this, I don't know if I'd rewatch it. We'll see how the ending goes. But this season actually seems rewatchable. The first season, it was definitely a chore to rewatch it before watching this season. When this season was about to come out, I obviously had to rewatch it, but because it felt definitely like a chore to do it. But this does not feel like a chore as much as the first season, so it's a lot better than the first season, and even better than, like I said, Luke Cage season 2 and Jessica Jones season 2, but not nearly on the level of Daredevil season 1 or season 2. Is it better than Defenders? I'm not sure. Defenders is was pretty good on its own. My favorite season so far all these shows has definitely been Daredevil season 1 and season 2. Probably season 2 introducing the Punisher and stuff, even better than the Punisher his own season. But I mean, having him so far, but the Defenders still had that great thing of having the characters interacting with each other, which on its own was makes it so much better than it just seeing those characters interacting with each other is its own thing. But that's something that's really hard to screw up. That if unless they all had broken character too much, and it makes sense, they did things out of character, which they got the characters nailed, so they were fine with that. But the whole story on its own, I don't know. I guess I would probably pit Defenders a little bit more, but I feel like it's kind of tie for me for my third favorite season of all these Netflix shows right now is this Iron Fist season 2. So I think that's really going to be cool to see where things kind of go with this storyline, to see what's going to continue on with this, especially with Davos kind of hiring the kids and stuff, and that he just hired he's going to train them and stuff. So that'd be cool to see where things are going to go with that. Although I just don't know why he's doing it only now, the end of episode 7. There's no way they're going to be even nearly as formidable as an opponent and by any amount of time. I mean, they have only a few days, right? How long is this whole season taking place? Unless there's going to be a time jump in the next couple of episodes, how kind of good are they going to get to fight? I mean, the guy with the one patch there, Ching Yu, the guy who's been bringing Davos around to finding criminals and killing them, was able to take on all of them type thing. So even now that he only has one eye, he's able to do that, and he's just lost the eye. Maybe a week or two ago. It's kind of it hasn't been really that long. Maybe a week ago he lost his eye. So he's already, even with that disadvantage of him getting used to the eye, he's still able to take them on in a fight. So I think that's really going to be cool to see where things go with those. I guess Davos should have trained them earlier on in the season, but it'll be cool to see where he goes and what his plans are to use them and how things are going to continue on from here. So I think I really like where things are going with this. I'm excited for this show. I've been watching it right now, and I real late and stuff after work and stuff. So I'll try and watch another episode tomorrow night. We'll have to wait and see depending on what time I end work and stuff. But we'll have to wait and see. Definitely going to be cool to see where things go in the next episode, because I'm really liking where things are going for this season. And the reveal that Bethany, Ward's sponsor, is actually pregnant with his child. I think that's going to be cool to see where things go with that. Is Ward just going to run away? What's going to happen with that? Is he going to put himself together? I think that's really interesting to see where things are going to go with that. I mean, the original storyline where he was back at the bar and stuff, I was starting to get annoyed of him and his storyline. But then when she said that she was pregnant and stuff, I think that was really going to be interesting to see where things are going to go with that. I'm quite interested to see where things are going to go with Joy. How is she going to react to hearing that that her brother has knocked her up type thing? How are things going to go with that? I think that's going to be quite interesting to see how things kind of continue on from here. What's Danny going to think? Is Davos going to find out and threaten her type thing? Maybe Davos ends up killing her by the end of this season. We'll have to wait and see where things go. I think it's going to be quite interesting to see where things are going to go with that character. And if she ends up having the kid, who does the kid become? I think that could be really cool to see that in this show. And also, there was a bit of talk with what was it with Mary Walker? She made the video for Walker about wanting to just give up. She poured the pills down the drain, which is interesting. I'd like to find out with Mary Walker which one is the dominant personality. Now, I'm not sure we have the flashbacks with her in prison. She talks about being involved in Sokovia, which was she, in Sokovia before or after the Age of Ultron. I'd imagine to be around the time of Age of Ultron, maybe just kind of, helping helping the aftermath of that. She probably wasn't there during Ultron because she, wouldn't have survived when they flipped it over and he, nearly destroyed everything. So I think it's going to be cool to see where things go with that storyline and then what she's kind of changing into. Is there going to be a third personality that's coming out of it, maybe going to take over? I think that'd be cool to see where things go with that. And how the connection between the two personalities is really going to go. And like I've been saying, she's like the best actress in this whole show, the best actor out of everyone in this show. She's amazing. So I'd really like to see where things are going to go for her. So all in all, I'm really excited to see where things are going with this. Seeing Davos going around and killing all the criminals and stuff, I wonder if he's ever kind of stepping on the toes or getting, Punisher Frank Castle hasn't heard of him at this point, but we'll see how much he gets done. It would be cool to see him in here, but I doubt this is probably the last show we'd ever see him. We might see him, I guess I could see him in Daredevil Season 3, less likely, but he could be there with Karen Page, I could see him hanging around with her, but it would be cool to see where things continue on with all this. I think it would be quite interesting to see how things kind of continue on from here for this show. So I definitely can't wait to see how things are going to continue on with this. I'm excited to see how things are going to go. Hopefully they can kind of build things back up. But with Danny and his leg, I really don't want it to just, he's healed, you know what I mean? And have it, what's the point of doing it so late in the season, of breaking his leg like that? And, and only to have him healed up so fast. I mean, at this point, I don't want him healed up, until episode 10 to make it realistic. But at the same time, I want to see him healed up before that. So we'll have to wait and see how they end up doing it. I feel like they will have it healed up before the episode 10, probably like at the end of episode 8. But hopefully it's actually a believable way, maybe involving the Iron Fist and he ends up unlocking the 2 Iron Fists. I think that could be an interesting way with this whole moving thing and helping transferring of the Iron Fist. It could affect the actual Iron Fist and making it different, so that when Danny reconnects to it, he has a different relationship with the Iron Fist, and that way he's able to use both Iron Fists, and he's able to do different things with the Iron Fist. Like I've been saying, I'd love to see him doing a version of the Hulk clap or the Superman clap, something like that, where instead of just punching the ground and then sending a shockwave that's uncontrollable, it would be cool to see him be able to do it, just clap his hands with 2 Iron Fists and sending a shockwave that's more directional to just one person, to knock one person out without hurting everyone. If there's a gunman in a room type thing and like a bunch of civilians, he doesn't want to just knock everyone down. What if he just was able to kind of clap his hands and do a version of that? What if he just kind of bops people on the head with the Iron Fist, the way Luke Cage does? I think that would be cool to see that, so he can actually use it on people without actually killing them type thing. What if he just kind of flicked people with the Iron Fist? I think those would be quite interesting things to see, and things like that to change up the Iron Fist once he gets it back. And it would be cool also to see more than just the glowing of it, maybe kind of a little bit more of a smoking to it, just like in the comic books, maybe some sort of smoke to it, maybe seeing it in the rain type thing could be really cool, scene where he's in the rain and there's like mist of it, because it's when he gets it back, the connection between him and the Iron Fist and the Soul of the Dragon is even more powered and stuff, and maybe a stronger connection. And the heart grows fonder when it's separated type thing. I think that could be an interesting idea, and then actually have it kind of like almost looking like a flaming Iron Fist type thing in both hands, and could see him in the rain, just standing there in the rain, and the kind of like the heat from this just kind of evaporates the rain, so his hands are not getting wet at all. I think that could be an interesting idea to see where things go with this. And also it would be cool to see, I remember in the watching the other stuff where I remember watching Iron Fist before these shows, it was really kind of the Ultimate Spider-Mans on the cartoons and stuff, where they would constantly be dropping off of the bridges and stuff and landing in the water. So that would be really cool too, to see them land in the river. Although it looks like they filmed this back in like last winter and stuff, probably is when they were filming it. And so it probably looked like it was getting warm. It was getting colder there. Although at this point in the series, it looks like it might be getting a little bit warmer out as you slowly see them with less and less clothes, and they're less zipped up as they were in the first few episodes. So it's maybe getting a bit warmer at this point when they were filming. And if so, it would be cool to see it. Maybe the final battle in episode 10 of them being like, somewhat underwater or something. So they have to hold their breath the whole time. But it would be cool to see, what the fist would do underwater. What would the Fist do if Iron Fist just punched the water? What would happen to that? I think that could be an interesting idea to do that, to see how that would kind of continue, how that would affect the Iron Fist. So all in all, I'm really excited to see where things are going to go for the next episode of Iron Fist. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. Season 2, Episode 7, Morning of the Mindstorm, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes subscribing is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.